Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to see you. Oh my goodness. I'm going to introduce you to somebody tonight that is probably new to you, and I'm pumped because so much. Here comes the invite of my friend. Um,
Hello!
my guy.
What is going on, Auntie, sister, Mama Jen?
Look at your color coded books. First of all, A plus check mark. Wowie.
Yes.
That's really impressive. You guys, please welcome my friend Kevin. Hi, I'm so happy to see you.
Happy to see you too. I wanted to ask you right off the gate, besides how you're doing,
Yeah.
how has Ben doing in college? I was literally
Oh,
thinking
that's
about that
cute.
earlier today. I was like, I'm gonna take my opportunity and snag a question.
Well, fun fact, he was here this very day.
Very good.
Because turns out when you're just 25 minutes away, you just come home sometimes when you want to spend the night in your own bed, eat your mom's food, and do laundry with her detergent. So he's doing great. Like, oh, was that
I
you?
did the same
Was that
thing.
your
I
college
did the same thing.
experience?
Oh, I went to college
Oh,
downtown Nashville. My mom lived 20 minutes away. I would bring friends home. I would do laundry at the house. Yes,
yep,
I would raid the
yep.
fridge. The best of both worlds.
Look, I don't know your mom, but I'm telling you right now, as the mom in this scenario that we are like sharing, I'm so loving it. Like the door will just open, he just
Good.
walks in. I'm like, I like this. I like this. My first two kids that went to college flew the big coop. One went to DC, one went to way West Texas, like 7 hours away. So, like, this just very cash stroll in the door, even like getting some like teen attitude because he told me this morning he didn't like the way I said something to him. I'm like, don't you? Anyways, I love it. I love the proximity. Oh my God, I'm so happy that you're here. You guys, everybody meet Kevin. Kevin is the guy in a million ways, and he was my invited, cherished, beloved expert in my most recent me course that we just released this week on content creation because this is his kingdom. Thank you for running your kingdom and letting us all be like serfs in your
Oh
kingdom.
goodness. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
pulled that out. I found that from my old studies. I'm really okay. I'm just going to say this about you because you're not going to say about yourself. I'm going to say it. This is Kevin's motto is this: building your credibility to grow your income and impact. It's literally your job. This is your job. It's your work. You've done this for over 10 years. You are a consultant in all kinds of things like business, brand, marketing strategies. You work with companies, entrepreneurs, influencers. Like your bench is deep, your net is wide, your umbrella is big. I love mixed metaphors. Every
Bring it
single
on.
day of your life, you guide content creators and creatives of all stripes um, through how to build and monetize their whatever, their personal brands, their content, their products, their services, all of it. You're like this one stop shop guru. And guys, I'm not even joking. Like Kevin and I have worked together for a while. And so when Kevin has been like brought in to teach me or train me or work with the whole team on optimization and content creation and I literally have to just sometimes lean forward and just try to catch it by the tail. It's so rich. Your content is so like thorough and complete, and also what matters to me, super up to date. Whatever it is you're telling me is the current way things are in the world. You're never ever behind. Like I am always behind. You work with Tony Robbins. You have worked with William Morris. You have worked with the Oprah Live Tour. Boring, so boring.
Yeah,
What's what's
a
what's
man of
less
mystery.
exciting than Oprah?
Yeah, you know what? Very few things. But you know what? First of all, you give me a lot of credit. I think everyone who is here already knows that. Um, you have something amazing to share with the world, and you have for so long. And people like me and our team want to come alongside you to make sure that every woman that can consume and experience this can reach and experience it. And so I feel very lucky to come alongside people like you, and be able to add any ounce of a gift to complement and augment it. It's beautiful. And I literally found myself trying to just like take in what you're saying. Like, you talking about me right now? This is crazy.
Listen, get serious. You are so good at what you do. You're so knowledgeable. And at this point, this kind of whole corral you've built of clients and various platforms and different types of work and different types of content is so vast and diverse and interesting. You have a lot to say about what a lot of us are creating. And that's why you and I are here today, because thank you so much for flying to Austin, Texas, and filming this me course with me. Like, it was so good, you guys, and it was so packed that we put Kevin into, we have 4 video sessions for every me course, plus this huge digital like library for each one. But Kevin had so much good stuff. We normally put our experts in one of the video segments, and I do the other 3. Kevin and I are together on 2 of them, because there was so much. And then we had so much good content that we couldn't fit in, that we have, for this particular me course, 7 bonus videos from Kevin. So,
oh goodness.
I mean, you brought the heat, and you held nothing back. Like, what you offered my community is everything. You didn't say, and then if you come to my website, I'll give you the second half. Like,
that's right.
you came with it all, and it was so incredible. So I want to ask you some questions.
Yes, ma'am.
While we're on here for a few minutes, let's start with the basics here. According to you, who is even a content creator? Like, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? And so thus, who may possibly, even if they don't think they would, benefit from our particular course? Because there are a lot of categories here.
There are. And I will be the first one to admit that is kind of the danger in us calling it content creation for the rest of us, because if that phrase doesn't hit you as you, we understand that, right? But the tension is, I would say there are 3 that really come to me. There's the person who truly identifies with artist, creative, storyteller, traditional content creator. By that I mean, an author, a speaker, a podcaster. You might say, I create art, or I want to share messages with the world. And I would say, okay, you hopefully already know that we are talking to you. Then there's a second group that I would actually say you are what I might call, in a more typical realm, problem solvers. Like, people are calling you on the phone and they're saying, hey, I've got this challenge I know you solved. Would you mind walking me through how you did it? Would you teach me how you did that? Or maybe there's a problem you see in the world that you want to gather others naturally around to solve. Maybe you're like an evangelist. Like, you know what? I saw this challenge in my community and I want to rally everyone around this problem together. You might do that very organically. Yeah. So it may not feel like content to you, but when you're out there evangelizing that message and gathering people around a problem, you are in many ways a content creator. And this third group, which probably fits in the second group, I might call you entrepreneurs. Like, there's a message behind your business that you need to communicate around what you do. And maybe you can tell the stories around what you do by using content. I mean, I think about Legacy Collective. There's so many stories that even if the organization is supporting other organizations, the stories that have to be told in order for those who want to support, we have to make sure we get those out in the world. And so no matter how you see yourself, you are likely creating content every single day. And we want to make sure that you can scale yourself, scale your time, scale your impact by saying, I no longer rely on just what I can do for those around me, but I can get in front of the whole world.
Oh my gosh, it's perfect. Let me ask you this, Kevin, like, in your experience working with all kinds of clients, what seems to be one of the biggest challenges for emerging content creators in every category that you just mentioned?
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's probably two problems that jump out. Well, first is
Okay.
that accepting that you have to create content. I'm seeing right now there's a comment where someone's saying, I'm like, I make cakes. Content gives me hives, right?
Mm.
And I'm saying to myself, well, I understand, but you're already doing it in content. So we got to at least own that I too could share the message I have in the world. And that might mean ego. And I know ego sounds like arrogance. No, I'm saying ego in that there's something about the way you view yourself that makes you feel like you're not worthy to create content.
Mm.
And so that part is going to be in the way. And
Mm.
then the next layer is going to be because content creation is so prevalent in our world, and an Instagram app away, you might tell yourself, well, there's all these strategies and there's all these I have to do, and how do I do it right, and what's the right ring light, and you start getting in your head. So there is a bit of information overload and overwhelm. And so I do want
Mm.
to admit, for those who've already accepted this as something they should be doing, it might be overwhelmed, and really we want to help you with both of those.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. Perfect. Um, I think one of the things, and I have felt this too, that can seem overwhelming, particularly right now, like every day that social media and the internet continues to progress and move forward and grow, is how many options there are. Ugh. So you and I talk a lot in this particular course about content channels.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you have provided a lot of additional resources for that as well. Why is strategizing the right for you
Mm-hmm.
channels so important? Because honestly, sometimes it feels like what's coming at us is be good at all of this and on everything and have a very viable presence here, 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 and here, or you're getting it wrong. And that's super overwhelming.
Indeed. And I think the key thing is the reason why the right for you channels matter so much is at the end of the day, we want you to identify who you are here for. Now, we know you think you want to say, and we want you to say that. But there's also a reality that many of the people who are here with us right now and will take the course in the future, your heart breaks for some particular community or audience. And it
Mm.
might be someone who, it might be the former version of you, might be the current version of you, right? But your heart breaks for somebody. And we recognize that if you can really zone in on that group of people, you can just say, hey, where are my people?
Mm.
I don't have to be on every single platform. There's no special trophy I'm going to get for mastering TikTok next week. Essentially, where are my people? And if I can go to them and bring them this message, this content, this information that I
Yeah,
believe will help them, that is sufficient.
that's
So,
right.
so it means empathy, ironically, not strategy, is the key. And I think that hopefully is liberating for someone that you can just say, I can start by caring deeply for the things and people I care about, and then say, now, where can I best connect with people who share that same opportunity,
Yeah,
the same that you're feeling, and bring them what I do best?
perfect. Um, so in this particular me course, Kevin has given a ton of bonus videos, as mentioned. Stuff like what do we do to figure out the social media game? How do we make money with what we do? All kinds of stuff. So let me ask you this, because it's such a broad and huge conversation. What is one, if you could just pick one for now, little secret that
Mm.
you would share with content creators like right
The one thing that comes to my mind is capture, not create.
now?
And so some people might disagree
Mm.
with this phrase, but I think that people really underestimate how much they are creating content every single day. All
Mm.
right. So if I mean, first of all, we all get to be privy to how you do what you're doing, right? By looking at Instagram. But as an observer and as a person who's a little bit behind the scenes, I know so much of what you're doing is for the people in the audience, but it's also you sharing what you're really thinking about that moment, that day, the day before. It's not always this. I sat on this for 8 months. Well,
It's
in a
true.
book maybe, right? But some things like I get to just express this. It's what I'm really going through. For me, I'm a talker by nature, and so my coaching calls are where I share content. I'm talking to Gen 101 or our team and like, hey, and then something comes out of my head like that. is exactly what I've been trying to say to the world. And so
Uh-huh.
sometimes is can we do a good job of just saying, hey, I'm going to show up and even write every day, or I'm going to record myself when I'm answering that question for a friend. So I would say capture, not create, is probably the first thing.
Mm,
Like, where are you organically just is coming out of you?
I
It
like
might
that.
be your, like I said, it might be your journal, might be a conversation with
Yeah,
a friend, but I want to like let's lower the bar one piece. Say, where am I already doing this?
that's good.
And can I build a system around me just to capture what flows from me so naturally?
Mm, mm, that's good. As you were saying that, my wheels are spinning in my own brain of when I'm doing that, and it's like a missed opportunity because there it is, like just a normal way that I'm doing, like that could have
Mm-hmm.
been captured.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I want everybody listening to know is that we have a lot of excited, like bonus content for you in this me course, a ton of additional stuff. Um, and included in that, for any of you who just happen to be budding authors, that's your particular dream. I've never done this before, but I included in the bonus content is my personal book proposal. One of them. I'm sharing the one that I did for Fierce. And all of its elements. And so it's not just a template, it's an example. And so you'll get that free, and you just get that with this me course. It's pretty informative if what you're interested in is writing. Now, okay, because you have a life. You had a life. You got to go back to your life. It's Monday night. Like, have you even had dinner?
I did have dinner
Me
because I
too.
was like, just in case we got into a really good roll, like I'm not gonna break up the flow. I already
Uh-huh.
gave my kids a bath before this. Just in case I did bath time as soon as they got home from school. Like
Stop it.
I, I'm trying to step my game up. I was like, you know what? Like I said,
Uh-huh.
I had to
Uh-huh.
be ready.
Uh-huh. You're like, kids, in the bath. It's 4:45. Stop fussing
That's
about it.
right.
Like,
That's
we're doing an early night thing tonight. Same. My family's inside. My mom and my dad, my brother and his wife and their kids are in there. And I cooked this whole dinner, and I'd set my alarm for me and you, and it went off, at 6:45, and I was like cutting my steak, and I was like, I'm gonna finish
right.
this steak.
That's
I'm
right.
gonna finish
Kevin
it.
can wait 1 minute. He's all right.
I'm gonna finish these leeks. Um, Last question for you, because anytime I have you like on the hook, I just want to like you just have so much to offer. You're so smart about. I mean, we're barely scratching the surface. Those of you who are watching, so here's $1 million question. This is subjective potentially,
Okay.
but I'd like
Uh-oh.
to hear your opinion on it. What do you think makes for great content, like in the broadest sense?
Mm, it's a great question. You know what comes to my mind, it's crazy to say this, but because I think I'm repeating myself a bit. But as much as it is going to be great storytelling and a lot of things like that, there's a give a damn factor, right? And I really think that comes through, and I think that I could talk about like the nuances of what that means, but I think there really is like I want to do this, and I and your sincerity, we feel that. I mean, the amount of your content that I personally consume when my job does not require it,
No, it doesn't.
right? When it's because I'm like, man, I feel
Mm,
her caring, and
mm,
sometimes I can feel seen as a man. It doesn't matter if right, but there's a reality of saying like, no, the person who's doing it, I can feel their passion, their energy, their conviction,
yeah.
and then from there, when you can align that with a who on the other end,
Yes.
it's magic. There's some magic
Mm,
there. And
mm,
so I think what I want everybody to think about is, first of all, what I hope you get out of the course, even this conversation, is I don't want you to feel like you have to be a carbon copy of anybody just to be successful.
that's
And
good.
if you're trying to buy the course thinking like, give me the 7 ways to blow
Mm,
up on Instagram tomorrow, I'm not going to do that.
that's
I'm going
right.
to give you brilliant, incredibly talented people a framework to think through and activate what's already inside of you.
That's good.
When I first went out to do this on my own and leave my nice, cushy job in Atlanta it was because I told my wife and my friends, I really want to help more people.
Yeah.
And I have struggled to figure out how to do that right. I'll be honest and say that. But this is an opportunity for me that I cherish because I
Yeah.
recognize that this is why I actually do what I do.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to feel like you have to be anybody other than yourself for this to work. If
Mm.
anything, I want to help you to code how to be more of yourself so that all the other strategies can come around it, augment who you actually are.
Mm.
And so, if anything, I would say, please lean into you, lean into your uniqueness, lean into your empathy and your heart and your passion and your gifts. And then we can find all the strategies around it. So if you buy the course and you have questions about like, hey, Kevin, you said this crazy thing that makes no sense to me, you're welcome to DM me. I mean, like,
Yeah.
let's have the convo, let's have a follow-up. But truly, I think the key is you showing bringing all of you to the table.
I love that so much. I have told women forever and ever and ever that while there is nothing new under the sun, right? We're not the first person to write a book or write a song or paint a canvas or, you know, even then, nobody can
Mm-hmm.
do exactly what you do in the way that you do it. Nobody can.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not possible. So there
Mm-hmm.
is always room at the table, literally always. At every table that feels too crowded, there's too many writers, there's too many artists, there's too many musicians, it's just not true.
It's
That's a
not.
lie of scarcity that is not true. Like there literally is always room for more. And so the advice to be who you are inside what it is you give a damn about is the best there is. That's the apex. Now, what you and I do, we wrap some strategy around that. Like we will come
That's right.
around and scaffold what it is
That's
that you
right.
care about, that you're good at, that you're passionate about. That we can handle. You are the one who can show up for your own life with
That's
your
right.
own voice and your own work. That's yours. So
Oh,
we're here
one
for
thing.
you.
One thing I promise. So I saw a stat a long time ago. Every single movie on Netflix is watched at least once a year. Every like the worst movie on Netflix
Good.
is watched. Like so like even this idea like, oh, it's like every single
It's
movie
so good.
on
It's right.
Netflix gets watched. It's like,
Uh-huh.
oh, really? And it's like, yes, that
Uh-huh.
obscure
That's right.
movie that was totally translated terribly into English.
Totally.
Somebody's watching it right now.
That's
And
so
it's just like
good.
when you're reminded, like, okay, well, people have time for that. No, they do. And so I just can't co-sign that enough. And I love that
Uh-huh.
visual of us building scaffolding because that truly is
That's
it.
it.
You bring you, and then
Uh-huh.
we'll give you
That's right.
all the extra stuff
Yeah,
to partner with it.
that's right. We'll give you some tools. We'll help you make it happen. We'll help you maximize it. But you have to bring you. So anybody who's interested, and I hope you caught what Kevin said at the top of the conversation, which is content is very broad.
Mm-hmm.
Like that includes product, it just includes innovation, it includes problem solving, it includes community building. Like content is a very big idea. What
Mm-hmm.
is it that you want to bring to the world? That's really what we're talking about. We'll help you do it. Okay. If you want this particular me course, content creation for the rest of us, go to mecourse.org. And for a short amount of time, our course is 50% off. Pretty good deal. Pretty good
Are you
deal.
kidding me? I would pay that just for the book proposal of Fierce. No,
Yes.
seriously. I don't want to interrupt you. Saying it was like, please,
Nope.
everybody, just buy for the book proposal. Like, if nothing
It's
else,
true.
the idea of someone giving you a book proposal that's
It's true.
completely baked out. Like, I know people who would almost have robbed you for it if they knew that was an option.
Genuinely, if I could have had somebody hand that to me in the early days when I was thrashing around on the ground trying to figure out what it even all was, all the
Oh my
pieces, what's
gosh.
it supposed to sound like, I give it to you like baked, and it's good because I'm good at it by now. I've done enough book proposals that like I'm good at it, and so like you're right. That's a little
It
like
is.
gem for the writers among us for sure. And you're a gem. So into you. Thank you for coming to my house. Thank
Oh
you for
man.
being who you are. Thank
I'm
you
ready to
also
come back.
come back. Like
I'm,
also,
I'm, I'm trying
Kevin's
to
really
find
funny.
excuses to come to our
Like
house.
if you haven't already like clicked to follow him from this feed, get busy because you're so funny too. Like you've got all these like smarts in this one side of your brain, but you have this other side of your brain that's like kind of absurd and hilarious, and I love it. I'm here for it. All right, man, that's it. Look, you're done. The kids are bathed. Are they in bed?
Let's do this. Well, I think my wife's actively taming them in a room with the door locked. So otherwise, they'd be on this live right now. I think
That's right.
Especially my 6-year-old. She's probably like, when do I get my debut?
That's right.
On Instagram.
That's right.
When do I get?
But do they see my face?
What about me though? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, once again, I just thank you. I can't really thank you enough. Yeah. The impression you. Yeah. I'll say I'm a crier, so I've got to get off of this thing.
You're my
guy. Kill our sales pitch. I'll kill our sales pitch with my tears. They're like, why is Kevin crying?
They're like, and there went the mood.
There it was. I was like, okay, all right, guys.
Okay, that's it. All right, my friend. See you later. Thanks for being on.
Take care. Bye-bye.